Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're taking a look at the Wurkkos TD07 Tactical EDC flashlight. First of all, thank you to Wurkkos for sending this along for review. They did provide this review sample, however they did not provide any financial compensation. They had no input into the final version of this or my opinion, and they have not received any early access to this video either. That said, there is obviously a little bit of a disconnect between buying something yourself and receiving it for free, and I'm doing my best to offset that in my consideration for this review. Now let's go ahead and jump into a size comparison with channel staples 91mm on top and 58mm down below. This is a little guy overall, being an 18-350 flashlight. Some flashlight relevant comparisons with the AA and AAA. I know you want that girth comparison. Then the tail switch and up on the reflector. And an 18-650. Again, this uses an 18-350. Same thing, just a little bit shorter. And an overall design overview. So we have a machined aluminium body in anodized black. We have a little bit of knurling in the middle for grip, but to be honest, this is such a short light overall, and that's such a small section, that's not really doing a lot. On the rear, we have a two-stage clicky, and we actually have kind of a interesting UI on this. We have a selector ring, which we'll get into more in the UI portion. This interesting thing is a combination of a pocket clip and I guess a tactical using ring. I don't know the correct term for this. I haven't really reviewed a lot of tactical lights, but I love this thing. So the general idea being that your finger sits in here, it helps you retain the light, and we have this very nice rubberized padding on this, which is very comfortable, very grippy. On the back we have our dreaded rubber boot, which is covering a USB-C port. As far as rubber boots go, this is a bit of a pain in the butt to get back in and take out, which means that it forms a pretty decent seal. You can see how thick it is there. But again, with all rubber boots, it is a matter of time until they get caught, ripped off, or perish, so just bear that in mind. On the side, we have an LED indicator. And up front for the action, we have a little bit of crenulation and then a very deep, smooth reflector that's going to give us that nice spotty beam. See that? Let's go ahead and jump into the brightness and run times of the Wurkkos TD07. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the paperwork for this light anymore. It has gone a little walkabout on me, but you can download the instruction manual from Wurkkos' product page, which will be linked in the description below should you want to go through it yourself. Now on moonlight mode, that's going to be 2 lumens for 75 hours, low 20 lumens for 22 hours, and medium is 240 lumens for 3 hours. High is 700 lumens for 50 minutes, and turbo is 1300 lumens for 2 minutes, stepping down to 700 lumens for a further 45 minutes. And this is IP68 water resistant, 1 meter drop resistance, all that good stuff. Now let's take a look at the UI of the Wurkkos TD07, and that is going to be primarily decided by this selector ring here. You can see we have 3 different sections: lockout, tactical, and what they call outdoor. I would call that more just EDC. So in lockout mode, when you press, all you're going to get is moonlight, and that is momentary. If we go to tactical, this is going to be both a brightness and a strobe warning. A half press is going to give you turbo, and a full press is going to give you strobe. And strobe warning over, and then if we come over to outdoor, half press is going to turn on. If you full press, you're going to get nothing. You have to half press to turn on, at which point you can then just press and cycle through your brightnesses. In this mode, you can double press to go to turbo and full press to go off. And the action is very satisfying. Now, for the pros of the TD07, I gotta say this is incredibly compact. 18-350 lights are normally very small, but Good heavens for a rear tail clicky with mechanical switch involved. Whoo! This is nice. This is good. I just to give you some idea of comparison pieces, this is a tactical style light from Wurkkos the TD04, and obviously we're working with a much longer battery, but just so you can see the difference. On the more compact tactical end, I don't really have a lot of tactical options, but this is the original Warrior Mini. Original Warrior Mini. Now you can see that is just a little bit longer, which, considering the depth of the reflector and the travel of the button, is saying a lot. Even the Warrior Nano is not that much smaller than it. This is really compact, and when it comes to a tactical style light, smaller is not always better. Like the Warrior Nano, I like it a lot, but it does get a little bit lost in your hand. This is a really good size. Next up, this clip finger thing. You can use this as a clip. It will clip to a pocket. That's a little awkward. I tend to just drop this in my pocket when I'm carrying it, but this feels really good. It locks it in. You can still use your hand without worrying about dropping the light. It feels really, really good. Next up, the UI. You can easily change between modes. You just remember which way you're doing it. You can change it easily enough when it's in your hand. I love momentary. I love that unlock. You can have that momentary moonlight mode. It's just a very compelling, very compact package. Now the beam itself, very spotty. This is easily bright enough to reach out and punch out and illuminate something at a decent distance, but it's also easily bright enough to disorientate someone, or say a aggressive dog should you be harassed by one. This is overall just a great tiny tactical option. I really like this. I don't have much experience with the more heavy-duty tactical orientated lights. This is one of my first, and it's good. It's good. On the negative sides, there's not really a lot. I will say that this finger ring, if you have a fatter finger or if you're wearing gloves, you may have a little bit of trouble because the inside of this is rubberized and textured as well. So if you're wearing gloves, that might be a little bit of a struggle. Likewise, if you just have larger hands in general, mine are a bit above average, size 9 and 10 work glove, but you might end up getting a little bit lost in there. And the larger your hand, the less likely you are going to be able to use this comfortably as a striking implement, as the less likely it is going to clear the meat of your hand. That said, overall, the TD07 is a very, very compelling little guy. I think this is a fantastic UI, generally speaking. The two-click thing is a little bit weird. I keep wanting to press all the way to turn on. So half press only to turn on is a little bit weird. That's just a little bit of getting used to, though. This, especially for the price, I want to say this comes in between $30 and $40 with coupons available. There will be a link down in the description below for you to check this out and pick one up for yourself. I can strongly recommend it. If you're looking for a little light just to feel a little bit safer on a walk, or to complement a more general EDC light that you have. Let's say you have something, I don't know, what's on the table, like a Rovivon or an Olight Baton series, and you wanted something a little bit more tactical for walks, or should you be in a kind of security, walking around at night, checking businesses, that kind of thing. This works very well. I can strongly recommend it. And even though I don't have a great reason for carrying this, I do find myself carrying this quite a bit. It's a very fun light, and it's brought me a lot of joy. But that's just what I think of the TD07. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Is there any similar lights like this that I would enjoy? Let me know. And once you're down there, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe. It does greatly help the channel. And if you would like to help put a different kind of light or tool in front of the camera, please consider a coffee or a Patreon subscription. It does greatly help put different tools up for review. But that's it. I've been Paul, and I will see you in the next video. Bye now.